everyone and welcome to Jake and Kat Adventures. Today we're going to be making macaroni and cheese. So let's get started. In a pan you're going to need 5 tablespoons of butter melted. While this is getting done, set your oven to 400 degrees and you're going to want 16 ounces of your choice of noodles cooked just before al dente because we're going to cook this in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. So I'm going to get this started and I just want to go over a few things with you. This is all, how do I want to say, you can intertwine different cheeses and things like that, or omit things that you don't like. As you can see, I have a lot of cheeses out. I wrote down the measurements of the cheeses that you should use. If you want to use different cheese, just do the measurement, the 1 1/3 cup, and just do the cheeses you want, okay? And I didn't put any salt in the recipe because the cheeses are very salty. So when you, at the end, when we mix everything together, we'll taste it and see if it needs a little bit of salt. And you can use, it says whole milk, but if you have heavy cream or half and half to use up, by all means use it. Just use the measurement. It would be 3 cups of liquid, okay? It's all, this is just all suggestions. Do it to the way you like it. So you're going to need 1 cup of diced onions and 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. Now I'm putting a little extra garlic in mine because my cheeses are very strong and I want to be able to taste the garlic that comes through. So what you're going to do is you're going to put your onions in your pan and we're just going to get these until they're soft. Takes about maybe 3 to 4 minutes depending on your stove. And just keep stirring them so that they don't burn.
And we're using some stronger flavored cheeses, but we're also pairing this with Jamaican jerk chicken.
Right.
So, you know, the creaminess of the cheeses and the flavors of the cheese will cut down on the spice a little bit.
Yeah. It's all about balance. And if you don't like the cheeses I'm using and you just want to use like Velveeta or American, just use the measurements, okay? You don't have to use all the cheeses I'm using. As you can see today, I'm probably going to just use what I have open, and which they're not all on this page, but I'll let you know what I'm using. Alright, so I'm going to just let these cook until they're soft and I'll be back. Once your onions are soft, we're going to add our garlic. Now, make sure you keep stirring this because you do not want this garlic burn. If the garlic burns, the dish is ruined. You cannot come back from it. So keep an eye on it. You're going to cook it till it's fragrant. Probably about 30 seconds to 60 seconds and it'll be ready to go. Just keep stirring it around. I'm cooking on number 4 right now. I'm starting to smell it. I'm going to let it go just a couple seconds more. And I don't remember if I told you, but a 9 by 13 pan buttered in the oven at 400. Alright, that smells really good. Now we're going to add a 1/3 cup of flour. And what you want to do is you want to cook this flour for about a minute or 2. You do not want to taste uncooked flour. It is awful. And this is just going to cook out the flavor of the flour.
Is this like making a roux?
Yes. It's
Okay.
thickening up. And then once I cook off this flour, we're going to add our milk slowly. Mac and cheese is good for things that you want to use up in the refrigerator too. I mean, you can add any seasonings you want. You can add some like mustard to it, whatever you'd like.
You can add meats to it too.
Yeah.
Ham or a pork chop, or
Yeah.
pieces of a steak or roast. Seafood. Yeah, seafood.
Yeah, if you like seafood, we have a seafood recipe, mac and cheese, which is amazing. I'm just going to turn this down a little bit because my flour is getting pretty thick. Just gonna cook it a few more seconds. And you can actually smell the flour when it's cooking. Mac and cheese is the easiest thing you can make. It's easy to throw together and it's delicious as a side or as a main meal. Right now we're going to add our milk very slowly. You don't want this to clump up. You'll notice it'll start getting thicker. Once you get all your milk added, bring it up to a simmer, and we're going to simmer it until it thickens, but you need to stir it constantly. And at this point we can add our pepper, and it's 1/4 teaspoon, but you add however much you like.
Uncle Dell would have used the whole can.
Okay, I'm going to bring this up to a simmer, and I'm just going to stir it till it's thickened. It's not going to take long because this is very thick right now. Once your mixture is all thickened, we're going to add our cheeses. Now you need 1 1/3 cup of grated Parmesan, 1 1/3 cup of shredded Swiss, and a 1 1/3 cup of cheddar. Now I've mixed mine together. I'm using Gruyere Swiss from Trader Joe's, unexpected cheddar from Trader Joe's, sharp cheddar, and the Parmesan. Just pour that all in there.
It just makes cheesy goodness.
And then you're going to stir this until the cheese is melted.
Check out this cheese.
If you feel it's too thick once you melt the cheese, you can add a little bit more milk. Don't worry. And also after you bake it, if it seems too thick, you can add milk at that time too after you bake it. You have your base now, so you're good. I'm going to put this on. I'm going to put this on because I'm going to stand here and watch it. My cheeses were frozen, so it really cooled down my mixture, so I'm just going to heat this up a little bit and get this melted. Now, if you feel confident enough to stand here and stir and not burn that cheese, by all means, go ahead and put it back on the burner, but just keep stirring it. If they come out of the refrigerator, it melts pretty quickly in the hot stuff off of the burner. But like I said, all of mine came out of the freezer. But this is a great way to use up cheese that you have in the freezer that's getting a little bit older.
Or in the fridge that you want to use up.
Right. You could always add Velveeta or American or whatever you guys like. I will do a Velveeta mac and cheese another time and show you the measurements on that, and it comes out delicious. But I wanted this to be a little bit on the sharp side to go with the jerk, to kind of cut through that seasoning.
Are you talking about me?
Yeah.
Or the chicken?
Alright, so just gonna melt this. Alright, look at this cheese pull, guys. It doesn't get any better than that. Now we're gonna add our noodles.
Need a hand?
Oh no, I'm good. I'm just gonna put it in with my hands. Just make sure you have a big enough pan to stir it in. I'm gonna stir it and then add the rest in. I just want to make sure it's all coated really nice. Okay.
Here, you stir.
Okay, stop. Let me stir. I added just a little of Slap Your Mama seasoning because that's what Jack wanted. Like I said, you can season it up any way you want. Okay, you can put the rest in.
Maybe.
Okay. Alright. And if you want, if this is too much, you can have it for yourself too. Alright, I added a little bit more milk to mine because I want it creamy. Remember, it's going to bake for at least 20 minutes. That will dry out that cheese. You don't want like a hunk of noodles. You want it really creamy. And that's what I'm saying. You can add more milk at the end, okay? So we're going to pour it into our prepared buttered pan. My assistant's going to help me. Okay.
And my assistant's gonna go do dishes.
So now I'm just going to spread this out.
I can tell you guys, I just took a taste of it. It's really good.
Okay. Now, spread that out evenly. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a half a cup of seasoned panko breadcrumbs. If you don't have panko, use regular breadcrumbs. You're going to get 2 tablespoons of butter. We're going to melt it in this pan. All right, I had to switch pans. That pan doesn't work on this. So I'm just going to melt my butter. And you can do more if you like more crunch on it. We'll see how half a cup of panko does. And if we feel like we need more, we'll just melt a little bit more butter and our panko will go in. Let me just melt this butter and I'll get back to you. Once your butter's all melted, add your crumbs and stir them around into that butter. We're just going to get this till it's just a very, very light brown. And you've got to keep stirring it. Alright, once these just start to turn brown, we're going to take it and we're just going to sprinkle it on top of our mac and cheese. This just gives it a little bit of a crunch. The panko really makes it crunchy. Then we're going to put this in a 400-degree oven for 15 to 20 minutes until it's golden brown on the top and it's bubbling around the edges. Alright, so here's our finished mac and cheese. Looks delicious. So please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And remember, you do you.